All right, guys. Thank you for joining us again. Day one, Midwest DJs Live, and we're sitting here with Ken Murphy.
Ian
He's
Murphy.
out of where?
Springfield, Illinois.
Lake Zurich. Lake
No,
Zurich, Illinois.
Oh, I thought
Hour
you said.
south.
I
Hour
thought
that's
you
south
the
said.
other
Milwaukee.
young guy. Yeah, the
Okay,
other young guys from
my bad. I'm
Springfield.
sorry. Excuse me.
Yes.
Shoot me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, well, Lake Zurich, Illinois. I own Amp Event Professionals. I've been doing the DJ thing for 24 years now. And
Wow.
I've been,
Congrats.
thank you. I've been a business owner for 21. So, started when I was 13, opened the business at 16.
So, okay, you started when you was 13. Did
Yes.
you do any events at that age? At the tender age of 13?
Long story short, I lost a bet to my uncle who owned a DJ company, and I started setting up weddings for him when I was 13. And then from there, about a year
Wow.
in, he's like, "You can start doing your own events," So
Oh
I
wow.
was like, so I started doing, the 8th grade graduations, the block parties, that kind of thing. So
Cool.
yeah.
How did it feel when you did your first event? Were you nervous?
Well, I can tell you how I felt when I did my first turnabout, like my first high school dance at my own high school.
Yeah.
So that
That
was
was a lot
pretty
of pressure.
awesome. That was it was a lot of. I had him for back, and my cousin was backing me up. But yeah, that was definitely a memory that early on in my career that I can confidently say that was pushed me forward that much more.
Did
Oh,
you
wow.
become a rock star?
I mean, who doesn't in this industry, right? I mean, unless you're being used as an example in Rob Frey's mic course up there,
Yeah.
doing a bad job,
Mm.
everyone's pretty much
Yeah.
going that direction.
Okay.
So, what brings you to Midwest, man? What, are you excited about anything? You here to network, learning, or you got a particular DJ, or what brings you to Midwest,
That's a
Ken?
great question. So I started my first Midwest in 2017, and
Oh,
that was my
okay.
first conference ever.
Okay.
So since then, I've made a lot of friends in the industry, not only at Midwest but other conferences. So this is a favorite, an industry favorite. So it's right, in my backyard. So why not drive up here and do it? But big thing is all these great DJs and great talent come out to Midwest for the connections made in the hallways, like at the tables, the round tables and stuff. So for me, like the other conferences I've been to, this is just so tight. You know what I mean? Like everybody's just really open and willing to give information. So that's why it's one of my favorites.
Cool.
Well, I just have a follow up to that. Is this the best one for you because it's your first? Or is it really just something in particular that they have here that's different
The
than the other?
camaraderie. The
Okay.
camaraderie here. There's other conferences you walk up to DJs and they don't want to share information with you, especially if you're in their market. Midwest is not like that, in my opinion.
But most of the guys here are from the area, and but they
That's
still are
they're
open.
willing to share.
Wow.
Willing to share,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
really good
Yeah.
because we sometimes experience that when people are from the same place, there's sometimes you have just, I'm not going to say tension, but there's not that willingness to just share information.
Yeah, no, for stealing ideas, stealing, price points and stuff like that. That's what I feel like this conference doesn't have. Everybody's willing to share that.
Wow,
information.
that's really good. I'm
Yeah.
glad you get that vibe.
Yeah.
And that's a
Yeah.
good vibe to have.
Yeah.
Because a lot of still guarded secrets. It's still a gatekeeper community or industry because a lot of us still don't want to share everything, but they'll share just enough to help you out if they feel like they're helping you out.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what are you looking to get from this show? Both professionally and personally.
I mean, if I walk, I've been to so many conferences and workshops over the years. If I walk away with one or two nuggets, I'm happy, And there were some things that was talked about yesterday, just out in the hallway, just shooting it, and I picked up a
Sitting down at our table and interviewing
That's
Even
right.
Steve.
Yeah.
and,
Interviewed Even Steve. I interviewed him right here last night. He thought we were on a podcast. He's like, yeah, you be our first guest. Gordon pops down, and that was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
Funny thing, he sit right here with us last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should get him on again this year.
Yeah, he'll be
yeah.
back. He'll come over.
Ask him if he uses Chat GPT for his transitions and see what.
Oh,
That's what I asked him. That's
kind of insulting.
No.
I want to hear the backstory.
Okay. So he sat down and I said, okay, I have a question for you. how do you feel about AI, and have you ever used it to come up with ideas for word plays and transition?
Okay, all right.
That's how I worded it.
So
it
that
didn't
was
come
kind
off the
of
first way.
yeah,
I
yeah.
made it.
that-
No.
you kind of
Yeah.
dressed it up, made
No,
it
yeah,
made it
yeah.
easy to hit him in the neck with it.
Yeah.
But
No,
that's a
I
good.
wasn't trying. It wasn't a stab.
So
It was like
what
a
was the
legit-
answer?
Well, you should ask him that
No,
question.
I want to. Yeah,
You want to
I'm
hear
gonna
my
ask
answer?
him, but I want
You want to hear my
to
answer?
ask you
Oh, what he
what
said?
made you ask that, because I would say that maybe you've been down that aisle of
Yeah.
asking.
So I did the competition here. I submitted on a video on Instagram, and one of the things I did was go on ChatGPT to
Okay.
see what would come up with word plays. I didn't spend a lot of time doing it, and I didn't get any information on how to make this happen. So I was curious if he had found a way to do it. Do you want to know what he said?
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you.
Yeah,
Yeah. So what he
I
said,
want to know. I don't care
what
about
he said
him.
was he doesn't like AI in general because it steals the creativity from other people, and it does not give them credit for what they've come up with. It's
Oh,
basically
what
big
a
movement
great
creation.
answer!
Right?
Oh yeah,
Beautiful answer.
Right?
Yeah.
That was his answer. He does not like AI because of the way it steals from the creatives and doesn't give them credit.
yeah. But okay, I can give you an idea. That doesn't mean you're gonna duplicate what ChatGPT
Right.
told. You're gonna take it and do what you want to do with
But
it.
not everybody does that.
You still can't duplicate exactly to measure what somebody else did unless you take it and you put it in like one of the programs and they do it. But I get that's a good answer. The great answer, Steve. Remember that.
Yeah.
That was a great answer.
It is.
I don't like it because it doesn't give Mike credit for that mashup that he did with Benny and the Jets.
Wow. You gonna do this on live?
Oh, so
Wow.
you've done this. You've
This
done
is not live.
No. What he's referring to is, we conversate, and he may say, you know what, I want to do a mix with Benny and the Jet. And I said, man, that's a good idea. 2 months later, he hadn't did anything with it,
Okay.
so I do something with it, and I'm the bad guy.
Well, how did it turn out?
Oh, it was beautiful.
All right. That's what I like to hear.
It was beautiful.
good.
Meanwhile, his Benny and the Jet still up on the shelf,
Yeah.
mildewed bread.
Yeah.
Well, there was no need for me to do it after you stole it.
I want to hear your take on it, though. Honestly,
I'm telling you,
I wanna hear your
after
take
he
on it.
did it,
I mean, you just said.
I was
you can't really
busy.
do it the same way. So
No, I could, but after that, I was so hurt
Thank
because
you.
every time I mention I'm going to do a mashup and I don't do it in a timely manner, I look on his Facebook page or somewhere and there's my mashup idea. So now I told him since he's a common thief, I don't ever mention any of my mashup ideas to him until they've been executed. So that way I won't have to hear my mashup.
there you go.
Now, let me clarify something, because there's so many layers to what he said, and there has to be clarity, because I know people
Please
take
clear it.
what you say literally, and that's not the truth.
Really?
Hold on.
Okay.
Clarity is this: you said one song.
Oh, no, I have both of them.
Hold on. You said one song. I said, that sounds good. I took that one song and put my creativity with another song, not your two songs.
Okay.
That's the difference.
Okay.
Gotcha
That's
there.
no, you don't. No, you
That
don't.
is
No,
the
you don't.
difference. So, but
No.
hey,
Yeah,
now
but it's
when
all
he
good.
talks, I cut my ears off.
Yeah, okay.
That's like
No, I
good
just don't share them no more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, because I have one right now that I'm thinking about. We have a magazine, a Pro DJ app magazine, online magazine, and I wanted to write an article. I know if I tell him and I don't write it in about a week, he will write the article.
Yeah.
So I said,
Or have ChatGPT do it for him.
well, either way, but I'm saying he will take my idea and then give me a byline as I told him to do it, but it's all good. We just joke and play, but it's all getting good content out there to everybody. But
Absolutely.
yeah, so
Sure.
So,
all right.
what would you tell someone that's thinking about coming to a show? Why should they? What is so good about coming to a DJ conference that I should go?
So I'll tell you, one of my DJs, he wants to come to a conference, but his idea of a conference is looking at the gear.
Oh,
He's a
okay.
gearhead, right?
Okay.
Now, we know that that's such a small, of what you get out of a
It depends on,
conference itself.
that's true. It depends
What
on
you
what
get out of
conference
it.
you go to.
It
Here,
does depend on it. It does
here,
depend on it. Yeah. Like the bigger stuff that focus on that.
Yeah.
But he has like the NAMM show in mind and stuff like that, which is fine, whatever. But what I say to him is, you need to come out to this because he's always telling me he wants to know what other DJs are doing in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
How are they doing transitions out of toast? How are they doing all this stuff? That's the kind of stuff that you will get outside of the seminars. And the seminars are great information itself, but what do you get outside of that in the hallway? Just spitballing ideas. And at dinner, you just end up at dinner with 5 different people that you've never met before.
Yeah.
And you share ideas for that whole dinner.
Well,
and come back and you're
like we tell everybody, okay, what is it? You can have the gear, all that stuff. You still need the technology, keep up with technology, have the right gear, but you also have to have the business side. So you can play with all the gear you want, all of that. If you don't know how to run a business, you can be the greatest DJ in the world, but you're going to be underpaid, undervalued. In some sense, you may get some of them right, but if you don't understand the business side of this game,
Along with the skill.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
That's what I said.
That's the thing. Like you learn how people run their business in different markets and how they have automation set in place so that when a client, reaches out to them, automatically they're getting connections right off the bat.
So you're multi-op or?
Multi-op, yep.
Yeah. How many people do you have working for you?
I have 3 DJs under me, and then I DJ myself.
Okay. All right. So mainly weddings or?
Mostly weddings, some corporate stuff too. Like, that's 98% of our business.
Okay. Do you have any other product services, photo booths, 360s, or what's big in y'all area? Because I don't know, is it photo booths or 360s or what?
So my favorite is like the roaming booth.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That thing's popular. We have 3 of those, so those are out a lot. Uplighting, dancing in the clouds, CO2 guns, CO2 jets.
The normal DJ realm of toys.
Yeah, I mean, normal in a lot of sense, but I also know that not a lot of DJs are doing the CO2 yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with getting the tank, bringing it to the event, and all that.
So how big is your tank? 20s or?
75.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Wait a minute!
Yeah, we don't mess around, dude.
You sure don't,
around, no.
man. Oh,
You're shooting a lot of CO2.
I got a strain in my back. So do you have a roller?
No, I just have a backpack. I throw it on my back.
On a
and
75?
Yeah, man. I'm just playing.
I'm gonna say, good. Yeah, you look young. You gonna get old quick doing that. No, so what?
I just have it strapped to a dolly.
Man, because I know a 50 is big, but a 75. Oh my God!
You don't want to run out.
Like 450 pounds. Honestly.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm like, he's full of poo, Mike. It's heavy. But that's cool. Yeah. So how long will a 75 last? Because
you
get
20 about a second per pound, they say.
Oh, okay. So you got 75. Because a 20 is not. I like that. Yeah. All right, remember that, people. On your CO2, 20 cylinder, you're gonna get 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So
off one jet.
Yeah. Okay.
But
cool.
we have a splitter, so we run 2 jets.
Two guns. So the bride and the groom
can
spread. 2 guns or 2 jets. Like if we have the jets on the ground,
Oh, okay. Yeah, proms. Do you do any school dances or anything like that?
I don't do that anymore. I'm over that.
You said
TikTok.
What about college?
TikTok
What about college?
No, I don't do that either. I've been in the business a long time.
I have too. We have too. But I mean.
Okay, but hang on. Let me
okay, go ahead.
So when I was younger, like 20, 21, 22, 23, all my friends were going to parties and to the bars for those birthdays, right? Those 21st birthdays and that. I wasn't able to do that. So now I want to grind less, work less, but now I'm making a lot more than I was doing then. So as far as, just being super overwhelmed and everything, like I don't want to do the proms and all that stuff. I like doing my events that I like doing.
But with the jets and all of that, it seems like you're more of a prom.
I do it for weddings, man. Like my weddings are
amazing.
Production, yeah, we have a big production.
Well, now that we've gotten to that part, how can they find you? How can we see these jets?
At AMP Event Professionals.
AMP
Event.
Amped. Okay.
Professionals.
Okay, professional.
On Instagram, that's probably the best place to find us. TikTok as well. So then mine is at DJ Ken Murphy.
I love that name too, Ken Murphy.
What made you go with that name? Did
Just
you have
my
another
name.
DJ name before that?
I mean, I may have.
Here we go. Come on.
Yeah, I know your uncle gave you something.
You're in the true seat right here.
I
Come
know
on.
your uncle gave you something. Come
Come
on.
on.
Oh yeah, so it was DJ Kenny Dex, DEKX for a while.
Okay.
And that was because I used to build police cars on the side,
Uh-huh.
and there was a canine car that was in, and the canine dog was actually named Dex, DEKX. And I was
Okay.
like, that's kind of cool. So I came up with that, Kenny Dex. But I was like, that's like, I've never been called Kenny in my
And then
life,
you
so,
got into weddings and he wants to be prim and
Yeah.
proper, so he went with
kinda.
DJ Ken Murphy.
That's right. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Where's
I mean,
Where's
we got
Barbie?
it, we got the. We got
Oh
the
man,
logo,
look
the
at it!
professional,
Oh.
you know what I mean? So,
Man, the stuff we
Ken
see.
Murphy is just,
That's what you love. I mean, look at the creativity. He got his.
right?
I mean,
Oh
he got.
yeah. Yeah.
So when you got married, did you do your jacket like that too?
No.
You have a custom tailor that gets
I
hooks you
did,
up?
yeah.
No, I'm talking about now. You do
Yeah,
you make all your suits?
Yep.
There
I
you
like
go.
that, man. I love.
Spoke Below is the guy that I get my suits from.
Where's he
Bespoke
out of?
Below.
Chicago?
He's out
Or?
of Chicago, yeah.
Okay, Spoke Below.
Bespoke.
Yep,
Bespoke Below.
We'll talk offline prices.
All right.
Yeah, because I don't want everybody to know
Deal.
how much I'm not paying for a suit.
Deal.
Yeah, but that's cool. Hey, but man, thank you for sitting down with us. Like I say, y'all, you never know who you're going. It's like Sesame Street. You never know who's going to be walking down the street with the people in your neighborhood. In your neighborhood, the people that you meet. Yeah.
Yes. And we're going
All
to
right.
stop him right there.
All right, gotcha. Well, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it.
All right.
Yes,
Ken.
thank you.
Man, okay, how much is
We're sitting here live in the studio, and it's always an honor to have.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's always an honor to have the great Matt Radicelli.
Yeah.
That makes me so uncomfortable, man.
I know it does.
It makes
I know
me, I
it
tell you
does.
that every time. It makes
I
me
know-
uncomfortable.
I know you don't like your flowers, but I just think it's important, and when I say great, I'm not being arrogant or
Yeah.
putting you like, you're great because you help people.
Thank you. I appreciate
You're great because you care. You don't have to do this. Some people, what's the financial? It's we all have to eat. And if people are concerned about the finances, won't they stop worrying about their finances? And let's see how far that goes.
Yeah.
So, no, I really appreciate you. And like you told me yesterday, every time I see you, it's positive energy.
Did you tell him what I told you?
No, it's
No,
not
what
his
did he tell?
business. He said he don't like you. No, I'm just-
Well,
No, he
that was the
just-
second part. That was
Yeah.
the second part of what I said. But the first part, I walked up to him and I said, every single time I see you at a conference, you got a smile on your face and your energy is always positive. We've
Yeah.
probably been,
Yeah. 5, 6 now.
quite a few back to back, and
yes.
we see people, on their highs and lows, and
Oh, yeah.
some people are just being real, and they're like, oh, it's all right, but you always bring positive energy, and I like to take a moment and just tell everybody that's a thing.
Yes, it is.
It's important.
Man, it's
You
a
know?
privilege to be here and get to do what we do. And
Oh,
of course, we're going to have positive energy. I mean, we started the podcast. Did we know it was going to take us to every DJ
we
conference?
had no idea.
Did we know the opportunities we were going to get from this, the sponsorships, the all kind of stuff?
Meeting the
wow,
people.
we have no reason to be upset.
Yeah, because it's for me, Matt. When I come, it's like coming to a family reunion.
Yeah.
And I get to see some people that I respect and that I've grown to be fond of. So for me, it's like, yes.
Is this scenario at a conference like Midwest DJs Live? Did you know a whole bunch of these people in the industry before you guys started doing the podcast?
No.
I
Or have you
did.
made these
I did.
connections?
I did.
So you made these connections
Yes.
in the middle doing this. And
Yeah.
that's even cooler for you.
Oh,
because
man.
it's been the gateway.
Yeah.
To connect with all these people. That's great.
Yeah. No, I've been
Nice.
coming since for a while because I heard you speak when you were still running your DJ company, and that was an inspiration to me. And I was like, man, look what they're doing, because you were talking about your production side and all of that, and I was like, man, wow. So I mean, you don't know, you don't see it, you don't know what its potential has, and it's It's incredible, man. So yeah,
And
I thank you for that boost that you gave me back then. Y'all, some of y'all don't know what the kickstart that was given to me from just sitting in that audience at Mobile Beat that 2016.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs that little fire in them, and
Yeah.
until they meet somebody that's doing a thing that they didn't think was possible.
Yeah.
You know, or that, you know, you got a tool bag, right? And you're like, what can I do with my tools? You know, I don't need to buy any more tools. What can I do with my existing tools?
Yeah.
And so many people in this room, and every room that we're at, they have so many opportunities, but they just need to see it.
Yeah.
You know, you need to encourage them. But thanks for the kind words.
Yeah.
That was a good show. That was a good show.
Yeah.
I always enjoyed Mobile Beat. It had a different flavor.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it really did. It really opened my eyes to a lot of stuff.
And the ironic thing about that particular year, I was supposed to be there. Me and him discovered years later that we had a mutual friend, and Ricardo Wilson. You know, shout out to him, or you know, he rest in peace. He had went, I think the year before, and he's like, Mike, you have to go. And I was going to go with him, but he had a massive heart attack. And so for me, it was like, I don't need that, because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, I was supposed to be there that year. But when that happened to him, it was no reason for me to go, because I was going solely because of him. And so when I finally, you know, from doing the podcast, it got me here. I was like, oh my God, what was I thinking?
Those kind of stories, man, they shock me, because there have been too many people that we know, you know, in the last, I don't know, it's 2025, in the last 8 or 10 years, especially as we've gotten older.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have all these friends in the industry that just, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. You just don't.
Oh man, you don't. And that, man, I'm telling you, he was one of the coolest people, man. Yeah. What's up, KC? Morning. The producer is in the building too. How you doing? But he was a great dude.
Yeah.
He was a great dude.
Yeah.
And
so, man, what you got going on, man?
Yeah.
What's happening with you? What's anything new? I know menopause is taking over the world, but what else?
We're trying to help you.
I like them headshots.
Thank you.
I like the headshots.
We did that unique concept. So, I mean, for those that are on the podcast, they can't see it, but we did this thing where we took these little cards and we try to get every single attendee at the show to fill this thing out. So it's not just the people in mentor pods. We estimate that we've done business already with about 50% of the people at the show. So I would say that's pretty close to being saturated, first of all. But we were like, hey, we needed to do something different. So we asked everybody to fill out this little like profile card, and it says on it, what are you good at? What are you not good at? What do you want to learn about? And what do you do at your job? And this gave everybody at the show, because there's this community wall, the ability to know who everybody is, because we took a little Polaroid photo of them. And it's gotten some comments. I was at the party last night. Were you at the party last night?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We're going to talk about that.
All right. Well, people would walk up to me and say, oh, my God, if that wall didn't exist, I wouldn't have known this person's name. And it allowed me to connect with somebody in my market. And that just makes my heart full, because that was the point. Everybody's
great.
like, oh, is this lead gen? Like, no. Notice there's no contact information on this thing.
No.
Yeah.
It's just who you are, where you're from, and what do you do, so that then I can connect with you. And it worked out pretty well. So we call it that Mentor Pods matchup.
It's genius, because it's like, and this is not a negative spin, but when you see something like that, it's like, is that person missing? So it automatically makes you walk to it.
You are the like 18th person that said we need milk cartons, because it looks like all these people are missing persons, and that's been the freakiest stuff, because we're using a Polaroid, and the most common thing somebody says Polaroid still exists.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, a lot of people do those at weddings. They'll have a Polaroid camera where you can take an instant photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
did you know you're not supposed to shake them?
I didn't know that.
Did you know you are not supposed to?
Really?
Spread the ink or something.
I don't know, but Outcast was wrong.
Outcast was wrong.
The instructions literally say, "Do not shake."
Oh,
dude,
wow.
We've been shaking
No,
those.
I never knew that.
Wow.
I'm guilty.
I know.
Well, I wasn't shaking mine. I was just waving mine, trying to get it to dry fast.
Yeah, we're thinking we got to dry, right?
Yeah.
You know, the instructions literally say, take it, flip it over, and don't touch it for 15 minutes. Anyways, now you know.
Yeah, we do. Wow. We
That
need,
is
we need a
interesting.
picture of the wall. Yeah, we'll make sure
Yeah.
we share a picture of the wall with you. Yeah.
Definitely.
Are you on the wall, Mike? You missing?
Yeah, I'm on the wall.
Okay, we
Yeah.
found you. We can take you down.
Yeah, I'm on the wall. Yeah.
But that's a cool idea. You always come up with a cool concept to make sure everybody knows that Mentor Parts is here or something's going on. So
Trying
yeah.
to be different, man. What's fun about doing the same thing twice? Nothing, right?
Depends on what it is.
You had me for a second.
But no, you're right.
mean
Not
all
get sucked
appropriate?
into it. Do not.
No, I'm just saying there's some stuff that's fun to do twice. But
Yeah.
okay, we'll go back to Menopause. All right, go ahead, sir. I'm gonna stay holy.
What's new? The being at the show and doing the fun things fun. Our history, MentorPod started at the show. I don't know if we've ever talked about it here, but
No.
the MentorPods thing began in this room, and there was a group of 10 people that used to get together every Monday morning, and they finally called themselves the Monday Morning Group. And I had this brainchild. I was like, man, what if I can do this group thing? And guys, I had so many people that used to say no to me for the price of my coaching, and I tried to bring the price down. That was the whole point of MentorPods, was to bring the price down so that I could help more people and do it in less time, right?
Because you had a company previous to that one, right?
Yeah, I still do executive coaching and one-on-one weekly stuff.
Okay.
But the price point is very different.
Okay.
Right? It's like 4 or 5 times the price of what MentorPods is.
Okay.
So I went to this group that was here at the show, and I said, guys, in the middle of the pandemic, I thought up this idea. I want to pitch it to you and see what you say. And 4 of the 8 or 10 people in the group were at the table, and they were like, yeah, we would love to do that. And then they got the rest of them on board, and then it started. So that was Pod 1 in 2022, I think. We're at Pod 11 right now.
Oh, wow.
So Pod 11 launches in July, and we've been blessed.
How long does the program go?
There are now 4 programs.
Okay.
The thing that we're known for, that's our flagship, is a 52-week, 12-month program.
Okay.
It's not intense, like hard. It's about commitment. Like, you show up, talk about what's happening in your business, implement something, go to work, come back the next week. So how many people can say they're actually working on their business for a couple hours a week? Not many. Everybody's in the rat
I agree.
race.
I agree. Not many. Not many. So with this being the 11th, for you, what is the motivation to continue?
Well, the program's very different now than it was when it started. We called it for the first 2.5 years the beta, because we were experimenting. We still are. We were experimenting every single week on these students. And we think someday the price is going to be up here. The price is still somewhere in the middle about where it's at. But my motivation is that right now, I think that this thing can help hundreds or thousands of people. You know, if I can find a way to get really great instructors matched up with entrepreneurs and solopreneurs that need the help in sales and marketing and management and leadership and finance and all the things that we teach, because you guys know this, we don't teach DJing. We don't teach how to do photo booths. Like, I know that stuff.
Yeah.
We don't teach it. We teach business. We teach work-life balance. We teach how to be a better human and a better manager and make money doing it, right? That's my motivation. That's my why.
Okay.
What I do.
And the good thing with that, and looking at it from that perspective, you realize that people are not just in this particular sector. You know, we're multifaceted. You know, you may have another business, or you may have issues with, family issues. You're helping them to be better human beings.
That's the goal.
So that's you can't go wrong with that.
We start off every session every week in Mentor Pods with what we call good news. And sometimes people will be like, hey, my son did this, or I just realized they had my biggest sale last week or something. But we also do weeks where we say struggles and strategies, because it's very healthy to be able to share with a group of people that you're on a journey with for a whole year. Hey, guys, I'm really struggling. My wife and I actually are a little bit, we're on the rocks right now. I need some support. Has anybody ever gone through this? And it's not a lot of personal stuff. I don't want to make it sound like the program is, but people get really comfortable with those in the program. And that's how you learn. You learn through being vulnerable and open And it's
helpful.
It's been good. It is helpful.
I'm pretty sure you've had some conversation outside of the classroom of people thanking you for helping them with XYZ. You didn't know, but when we talked about this helped me with, oh, that's great.
Those are my favorite moments. I got a text message yesterday from somebody in the program. I'm not going to say his name because I'm going to give you a number in a second, but I got a text message unsolicited, and it said, because he knew I was at the show, and he said, if anybody's considering the MentorPods program, show them this text message. Yeah, he said, this is what 1 year of hardcore commitment looks like in your program. And it said $64,000 of net profit in 2024.
Wow.
And then it said $185,000 of net profit in the period leading up to it, or the year before. It was a $120,000 difference in 1 year from one to the next. And he sent me a message that said, it's because of this program. It's like,
wow.
I'm not trying to make everything about money, guys.
No, but the
bottom
line is
it's
money. Yeah, it's money. Yeah.
Y'all heard that, right?
No, so we understand that. That's why.
That's
Yeah.
the scorecard.
But a lot of people don't
That's the
get that
scoreboard.
and don't care about it. I mean, they care about it, but they don't know how to get to it or to achieve it, and are not willing to go get help or seek advice on getting it.
And that's okay too. Realistically, conference like this, there are plenty of people in that room that don't really care if they make a lot of money because this might be a side thing for them or whatever.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily our client. Right?
Can I ask you a question now?
Please.
Just, do you think that hurts the industry?
I do. I think that my exposure, I work with lots of companies. I work with Fortune 500 companies all the way down to what it is that we do here. There is such a difference between the accountability and business savviness in the DJ industry, and that's not knocking it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like my personal mission statement to elevate DJ owners. No, I just want to work with businesses. And I just happen to know this industry. But yes, I believe it hurts the industry.
Okay.
And yes, absolutely.
That was just a question because people always
Absolutely.
say that, and I just wondered, what your thought was since you're trying to elevate everybody's game and, give them better ways to make money or increase their profit lines. Yeah.
Stereotypes, unfortunately, are sometimes true. And I think that there's a reason that the world frowns upon DJs because the barrier to entry is so low and the amount of work required is so little. And everybody in this industry forgets, man, it's too easy to make a buck. And then everybody gets lazy, sloppy, or whatever. And they're not watching what's up.
Complacent is the word I like to use. You
Absolutely.
get real comfortable and being, like you say,
Entitled.
doing the same thing twice. And they're doing the same bad show twice a week sometimes.
I can't spell complacent, so I don't use the word very often. So.
No, because you're always moving. I say this man goes from selling Rock the House, and now he's just buzzing around the world. I mean, because I was like, I looked at the thing. I was like, I got a friend that lives up there in Cleveland named Darrell. That's Really Rail.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, man, Matt, them doing some great things. And I was like, wow,
I love
because that's
Rail,
where I met him in the first at the show. And I was like, man, that's incredible. So like I said, a lot of people, like you said, a lot of people don't realize the influence or the inspiration that they have on the industry. I mean, we may not ever reach out. I mean, I think might have reached out one time about your coaching program you had when you were doing Rock the House. But man, it's just wow. I'm telling y'all, if you come to these, you will meet some phenomenal people that can change your life or change your trajectory in the business part of this business.
Can we talk about Rel for a second?
Yeah.
Because it just made me think of a thing. You can't talk about success or business or helping people without identifying that the inspiration that people give us sometimes is completely it's a coincidence or it's unexpected. So Rel is a cat that we're from the same city, same hometown.
Mm-hmm.
Our kids actually go to the same college or did.
Oh, okay. Your son went to Mountain.
My daughter goes to Mount.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow.
And my son did also.
Okay.
And my point is that what's the purpose of all this success if we don't pour time and energy into our families? And just when you said that, it's like he's a cat that again always has positive energy, doing great things for the community. What's somebody's definition of success? And I want him to hear this and say, I consider him a very successful individual because of what he's accomplished, what he does for the community, and the fact that he's a family man.
Yeah.
And that's what I aspire to be like.
Yeah.
As much as we push. So I don't know how you guys feel about that, but man.
Definitely.
I'm
totally agree.
I'm trying to be there.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Totally
I'm here for that.
Yeah. Wow.
And he's a great he's a great guy. I had the opportunity to meet him through Jeff, and we've been like cool, you know.
Yeah.
And he's a consistently good guy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm against the statement when people say that, hey, you never change. I don't agree with that. We
Me
all
either.
change,
We all
but
change.
I think we can be consistent at being something because there's variations of it.
Yeah.
It's never the same, no matter what it looks like. The person may smile, but you don't know the motivation of the smile today versus yesterday. So, no, sorry to go there, but that's just
That lesson that keeps biting me is when somebody shows you who they are, believe them.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The first time, and I think that I've gotten to see since pre-pandemic time, and then coming through, I've gotten to see how trauma of certain things in life literally changes people. Do you guys ever take personality profiles?
Oh
You
yeah.
ever done a
He
disc
has
or-
one. He's tried to
What
get.
are you working on?
There's one I was working with this company called E-Colors.
Okay, I'm not trained on color systems, but I've done them. But there's
It
like
was-
disc profile, culture index, working genius,
Mhm.
Myers-Briggs, all these.
I've
I was-
definitely taken Myers-Briggs.
Yeah, that's a complicated one. So, have you ever had somebody who facilitates those? They basically tell you when they're reading your stuff that like you don't change. They say that they're like you are who you are, but your job behaviors change. I've seen people that I tested
It changes.
7-8 years ago that
Mhm.
went through pandemic, major trauma, and their natural state changed too. And
Mhm.
it's exactly
It
the
changed.
opposite of what these people have said, and mine changed. So my profile driving in Rock the House
Mhm.
when I was that guy versus what I am now, I was surprised to see that. So I'm a believe in when they show you who they are, but at the same time, we can all change. But we can change for the better or the worse. Yeah, that's all it is.
And can I add to that?
Please.
We have this saying, and when I say we, you know, that people people never change and they remain the same. You know, we have this thing, or once you something, always something.
Okay.
So for me, those of us that believe in a higher being, you know, as humans, we were given free will. Free will is the ability to choose. So you can choose to be whatever you want every day and
Every moment.
every moment. And I tell people behavior has no expiration, but you can change. So when we take that no, you know, and I like the Maya Angelou's statement, when someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. I believe them in that moment because the next time I see them, they may be somebody else.
Mm,
Can I add to
yeah.
Can I add to that?
Yes.
See, I feel like there's this fork in the road in all these moments we have every day because the difference is intention.
Mm.
If their intention is positive, it becomes persuasion.
Mm.
If the intention is negative because of who they're being or acting like, it's manipulation. And in any given moment, everybody chooses one of those two paths. I mean, I guess you could be neutral. I guess you could be in the middle. But when somebody's doing or saying a thing, making a choice, it's either because they've chosen the good and they're just they got the energy, or they're manipulating you. Man,
Yes.
the moment you start to
Wow.
see that you're being manipulated, you know.
Oh yeah, it's a whole
Wow.
different thing.
Yeah, wow.
We didn't mean to hit you guys with the
Yeah, we're getting
philosophical,
deep.
but you know, hey.
Yeah. Wow.
But-
yeah. That's
it's-
good stuff.
And let me ask you this: by having your views, how do you think that affect the people that you help?
So I just try and stay positive. Man. Anybody who knows me socially, business wise, or whatever, I don't talk about politics. I don't talk about religion. I'll be happy to talk about the educational side of either one of those things, like book stuff.
Mhm.
I don't go there, and
Oh.
I'm the positive guy. I'm just like I'm pragmatic, optimistic, whatever it is. Just
Oh yeah,
It's just-
good
Yeah.
thing. But I'm just saying
I choose
that's
positive.
I know, and that's a great thing because you're giving off something that so many of us don't get because we live in it's just a shell of just negative energy. So when we give that, we give people the ability to say, I can be happy today.
Choose.
I can be happy today.
Yes.
Yes.
So
You guys are happy today.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
up. We're full of
Hey,
energy. We're
What did
ready
they
to
say
go.
inside yesterday? Because none of us are scrubbing toilets today, so it's a
Oh.
it's a good day. And that's not about. I'm just saying.
No,
today,
we're not. No, we're not.
Today we can make money some other way.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
we
Or have
make
some fun with
money.
friends.
Yeah, we having fun, man.
So let me ask you this. Let's go to last night's party.
Okay.
What was your experience? Seeing the ladies represent. How did you feel about everything last night?
Well, first of all, I was really excited to see that the crew and the board put together such a
Oh man, they did a great job.
What's the best way to put it? I'm not going to say it's innovative because that's not respectful to the ladies, but
Yeah.
to see them put that much energy and attention on a ladies' night
Yeah.
was very creative and very well done. My favorite part about it in terms of the space and things is that I don't mind ballrooms, I don't mind other situations, but I like it in that feel that we all grew up in terms of the club, lower ceiling, darker spaces, pockets to talk, a couple different bars. Like it was a great venue for
Mhm.
what it was. And when I saw the lineup, I was super excited. And when it first came out, I don't know if you know who opened. Do you know who the opener was yesterday?
Stars. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Staz. She the STAZ. So Stasia works for Kristen Hubbard, who's one of our clients, both in mentor pods and my one-on-one coaching. Stasia is one of her girls. She's on the leadership team there, and she applied for the spinoff, and I don't think she made the finals. But they reached out to her and said, "But we want you to open for Kristen."
Wow,
Mhm.
that's good.
And I got to hear her talking about how nervous she was, and she knew that I competed, so she asked me a couple things. I didn't have anything to say other than "Go get it, girl," whatever. But I was so pumped about her set because to see somebody who's never done that, exhibition, competing, whatever. Her set was my favorite.
Wow,
Well,
Because
cool.
I know what kind of nerves it is.
man.
And she
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
and whatever. Obviously, Sprinkles crushed, and all the ladies did great. Kristen, Nicole,
Man, it was
Jamie was hot.
it was
It
nice.
amazing.
And it was like a build up, but not in a negative way. Like,
Nah.
it was just like wow. And it was for me, it's like, man, they're pushing each other. They're pushing each other. It wasn't
Yep.
it didn't drop. It just kept going
Kept
up.
building.
The energy just,
That's good. So that means they put it in the right order and
oh man, they did a
put
great
everybody
job.
right where they needed to be.
How many times we've been to a show like this, and the 2 or 3 or 4 DJs that are up against each other, they're sitting over in the corner with their headphones on, working on their set, not paying attention to what's on, and not vibing
All the
because
time.
they're just ready every time, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Last night, every single one of the ladies that played,
Pumping
they were
each other.
in the front or standing in the back boiler room style, just rocking out with everybody,
Yeah.
and the vibe was great.
Yeah, because I saw Jamie in there when I was in there, and she was vibing out back there, getting ready,
Man, they
having
were-
a couple drinks, trying not to be too nervous, I
Yeah.
think.
But then they, like he said, they would go up there behind whoever was performing. And I'm talking about they brought the
enjoying it.
pain.
That's
They were
good.
supporting.
Yes.
They were just there for each other, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, we
It was
did.
epic.
Yeah, it was good. It was
It was
really
epic.
good.
So that's +1 for the ladies on that because
Yeah.
dudes don't always do that.
No,
Yeah, it was-
no.
And for me, I'm like, okay, I was telling someone, I said, I don't know how we going to outdo this one as we go through the year. I said, because this one for me is at the top right now because
Right now it is.
the energy, the support, the performance was top notch.
Yeah, good.
And even though, as DJs, we always encounter some type of glitch with equipment that,
You can count on it.
yeah, it's going to happen. The glitch monster will
Yeah, it'll
rise up.
show up. Yeah, for somebody. People have to start over or something, or one side won't go, or something is
Yeah.
out. But
And we Sprinkles did something, and I was up on the stage and recording, and Nate was on the side of me, and he said, did she just do that? And I got to go back and review the film because it was, and she did something like, wow, it blew his top off.
She's superb.
Oh
She's
man,
superb.
yeah.
And
yeah.
you know what I find fascinating is that as good as she is, every single time I see her perform, she does something new.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she's extremely humble.
Oh man, she is
You guys,
so.
did you guys get to?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I've never spoken to her.
Oh
personally,
yeah,
so-
we
Man,
have. We
you
met her at
should.
DJX last year, not realizing they were from Dallas.
Yeah,
And
local.
now we found out. So they're
Cool's
gonna
that?
come in and do a
We're gonna do like
series. Because mom
series.
did radio, dad's a DJ also, and then we're gonna talk to K Sprinkles. Then we're gonna sit them all down together again and talk to them.
That's great.
So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, man, they're really cool, and Dad's really cool, Mom's really nice. So,
She's got
and
a
they're out
really good
like you do
support
with your
cast.
kids. They're out here.
Was that Mom and Dad?
Yeah, they're out
Mhm.
supporting.
They
them.
were so kind.
Yeah.
They came over and spoke to us, asking questions about what it is that we do for the community, and he was engaged and he was genuine. I didn't.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
sense
Yeah.
that-
He's not. They're not
Great guy.
clownish or anything.
Yeah.
They're still humble, even though their daughter is doing some great things and killing the industry.
Yeah.
And yeah. So.
And we love the way that they support her, and they make sure that she's not put in a compromised situation.
Yeah.
They're always there. If Dad is not there,
Mom is.
Mom is there. Somebody is always with her on the road.
Can I tell you a
Even
story?
yes, please.
So I started when I was 7 years old, and
Mhm.
my origin story is that Mom ran the nightclub, Dad was the DJ and the maintenance man. So he was scrubbing the toilets during the day and then DJing at night.
No, Dad.
Cool, right?
Yes.
Or fixing bathroom stalls that dudes rip down. So I was brought up in a situation where my parents were just like Sprinkle's parents, where they made sure that I wasn't exploited, or that I wasn't around stuff that I wasn't supposed to see. There was this other dude that I knew that I'm not going to mention his name. His parents literally exploited him. He was a DJ, started around a similar age, and I watched what happened to him. And it's so important to give these. We'll call Sprinkles a kid for a second, but younger generation the support and guidance they need,
Mhm.
because this cat who started when he was less than 10 years old, before we hit high school and mid, it was from a city close to me, was into drugs. Well, I'm talking hardcore stuff. Had been to juvie, and like it's just a matter of steering an opportunity. So the first thing I thought when I first
Mhm.
learned about Sprinkles, like years ago, was, man, I hope she's got some great parents. So it makes me so happy. It was my
Yeah.
feeling to bring this
Oh.
back. It makes me so happy that you here have been in proximity of the positive direction.
Oh, yeah.
That makes me happy, because I
Yeah.
worry. I
Yeah,
worry.
yeah. Oh,
I worry.
yeah,
I worry.
yeah.
for
Well,
somebody.
you've seen it
I've seen it.
firsthand.
Yeah, well,
know,
you
and
see it. You
can't-
don't see a person. You see it everywhere with superstars and
But I'm
people
just
get
saying, when
hooked
he
on
has
drugs.
somebody
Yeah, I mean,
he
he
grew
saw
up
it.
with,
Yeah.
it's just like,
Well,
you
we've
know,
all seen that where we had
Yeah.
people go down the wrong that getting those choices where you
Yeah,
can
those-
veer.
We've all
Yeah.
seen the Disney Channel guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
They go one way or the other.
That's a good way. That's good. That's a good one right there. I'm going over here. I'm coming over here.
Yep.
Yeah, one can be good, one can be bad.
Exactly.
Hopefully, somebody will pull me back to the other side if I go the wrong way.
Yep.
Yeah, but
no,
man,
she's
it was
awesome.
great, man, to catch up with you again. We'll see you where we'll see you next.
Yes.
Well, the schedule here, I guess Marquis next on the circuit,
Yeah,
and then DJ X for
yeah,
the summer. Will I
yeah.
be seeing you
35
guys?
years. Yes,
Well, I'm seeing it, Mark,
sir.
yeah.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
well, we'll see you. We'll see you in, was that, a month
Yeah,
or so? Ish?
yeah, a
Some
month and a
month
half.
It
Yeah,
comes so quick.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
might
they
be
come
tomorrow.
so quick because we were like,
Feels like tomorrow.
it was like, man, it's already time for this one. We just got done with Max, so time to pack up the bags and go again.
It's almost like you going home to have lunch and you're going back to work. You're on your lunch break, and bye, babe. Give me a kiss. Love you.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'll be back.
Does your wife ever come out with you, Matt?
Not the DJ stuff, no. My wife, we met in 6th grade, so
Wow,
we know a lot of
congrats.
people that met their loved one or their wife or whatever after they became an entertainer or in
Mhm.
the industry, and she's been with me since before it all happened. So it doesn't phase her at all. It just is what it is. But
No, just not the phase, just support. That she ever just come
Oh.
out and hang out and,
she doesn't.
or she
enjoy
wants to
it.
see a city or something, you know.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't enjoy it. We travel a lot though.
Oh, okay, yeah, I
We
know.
do things where we do stuff, but she doesn't come to DJ shows unless it's like a conference where there are husbands and wives coming out.
Oh, okay.
And there's like programming for the syndicate.
Okay,
No,
all right.
that's not her thing.
Okay.
I kind of wish it was someday, but she always says I'm going to stay home with the babies.
Oh, okay, that's
we
good.
still have 2 in high school and doing the damn thing.
So you got
Yeah.
4, 3 or 4?
I have 4.
2 in college.
Yeah, 19, 18, 15, and currently 13. And I always got to throw this in there. My 13-year-old is 5'11". She's a giant.
Oh wow.
And we're not tall. Just to be clear.
So is she
I'm 5'8". I'm
Is
5'8",
she,
guys.
is
I'm
she
5'8".
pushing her height
Is
on
she-
you, like looking like dad?
No, not yet. But when she hugs
Not-
me, she's got to put her arm around my shoulder. Because, I'm just saying.
Wow.
She's that tall.
I have
Okay.
a great niece. She's 13, and she's 6 foot.
Yeah. And
Amazing.
y'all know I'm tall, so I'm 6'5".
Slightly.
I have a nephew that's 13. He's already 6'5", wearing a size 15. But I mean, he's a good kid. So, but he'll never right in the stomach, right in the gut. So no, we keep him on the humble. But yeah. So, but man, thank you again, man. We always enjoy chatting with you, Matt. And
Thanks for sitting down, guys.
don't forget, send me that offer again. We're gonna have to get him on that sponsor role across the screen.
Okay.
Yes, please. We need to make that happen.
Yeah,
Well,
all right.
I'd love to reach all the people we can help, just like you're doing it.
Especially starting in
Thanks.
July.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get it done.
Go team.
Go team. Let's
All right.
go.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
All right. Thank you, brother.
All right. All right.
Thanks, gentlemen. I'm still brand new.
Yeah, he is.
I am brand new.
You can
No,
only,
okay. First question.
You can
CP,
only
how long?
use that so long.
How long
It's
have you been
okay.
DJing?
Yes, so-
Did you DJ before, right?
Right,
sir.
How long did you
Come on,
DJ?
I have I've DJ'd 7 to 8 years.
Okay, so you're not brand new. All right, drop that and stop all the playing.
Okay, guys, we have the great CP Heda from eStart, one of the best programs that you're going to find for DJs that
that's
have
making
so many moving parts to it. And that's not in a negative way. It's a beautiful thing. It's great when you see a company that's continuing to push the envelope.
Innovate.
Yes, they're consistently giving us something new to play with. And he's going to tell us about the latest update because I know he has one.
Well, I want to start by saying namaste. Welcome to the show.
All right.
And this time I don't want to talk about an update.
Okay, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
This time, actually, what I want to talk about is the whole, like, how did we come into existence, and like what the idea, whatever we are doing, how are we coming up with these things, right?
Okay.
Um,
Well, lead the way.
and
Yeah.
this is close to my heart.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
All right.
So, one, of course, a lot of updates that come out on Start platform are given to us by our real users. One of them
Yeah.
is right here was giving me, hey, do this. So, we get feedback from the ground, right? That's like real feedback. Hey, this is working, this is not working, and then we are happy to make those changes.
Mhm.
But taking a few steps back. Yesterday I was here at the Midwest live show. I was talking about this, the concept, the revenue model behind Start and how this helps you was really, when I was DJing, these were the pain points that I had. And when I was like, we as performers, right?
Yeah.
Whether you are a DJ, you are in the event industry, I should say, whether you are a DJ, you are a photo boother, whether you are a venue, wedding planner, we have the luxury of work servicing hundreds of people at any given event, right? For you, it must be thousands. For me, it is intense, but not 10,000, but smaller number. But
I'm not sure what he's trying to say, but
so you're servicing so many people, and we know that our next stream of events is going to come from that, right?
yes.
So when I was DJing actively, I was like, there are 100 people here. What if all of these could become my future customers
Yes.
as a DJ, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys, but a lot of people would think similar to that. That
Yeah.
it's not only the couple that I'm servicing right now; it is everyone who's on the dance floor.
Oh yeah, I preach that to my DJs and people I know, that you're okay. That client has booked you, but you're auditioning for your
Next event.
next client, because you don't know who's in your audience. Because I'll give you a quick story. I was DJing a wedding for a gentleman didn't know who he was, whatever.
Right.
By the end of the night, he came up, thanking me and everything, and I found out he was the communications director for George W. Bush and over the George Bush Library. So,
Right.
I mean, you never know. He said, hey, man, anytime I have something, I'm going to reach out to you.
Right.
And, you just never know. And
Yeah.
because he had brought in his own MC and everything, but by the end of the night, he's like, "Oh, you're fine. Go ahead, take." So it's just you never know. So you always bring your A game, as somebody said. You just always need to bring your A game.
Right. And that very story is where we are trying to help fellow DJs and event professionals to bring forward, right? You are there and you are able to, uh, you're there and you are, how do you connect with? So the main tagline, and I keep talking about this, how do you connect with all these audience at the event, right?
Yeah,
The Start platform is built for guest engagement. So you are not only servicing the people who just, you're helping the host of the event, but you are also trying to connect and bring more people involved, more people involved in that event by using all of these apps that are behind Esther.
yeah.
So when these apps are used, you're making more connections, and as a result, they are able to see your presence. All our apps have some like places
Yeah.
where you can add your branding.
Yeah, so you,
That's
you wouldn't call that something new. You would just say that was a new feature that you added to it now, where you can book. They can do all kind of stuff in the system, new things in the system to they can. What is it? Book you? What else did you put in there?
yeah, the action buttons.
The action
Action
button. Okay,
buttons.
It's
okay.
called
Yeah.
Call
action
action
button.
buttons. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So these are right on the face of the app where you are able to based on your industry and your region and your clientele, you are able to customize these. I was showing it to Jeff, and Jeff was like, "For my clients, I'm not going to put a button that says book me," and he wants to use a different button for his events. I think so. There is a video out that's going to be coming out when I start, and he talks about like chat with me is his
Oh, chat with okay.
chat with us. Like
Okay, that'd
that's
be
how
cool.
like that's what like I don't want to come across that.
That's book me
You
now.
don't want to
Book
be
me now.
You don't want to be salesy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
You
used exactly the same words.
You
that
want to
they-
make it engaging.
People
Yeah.
don't like to be sold.
correct. Yeah.
They
So
like to buy.
the beauty of the action buttons is it is customizable. You
That's
can pick
great.
and choose what is good for your industry, your market, and use the words accordingly. Right.
Okay.
But it's all about like that bringing everyone together in the event and trying to like connect with people
Yeah.
as you are servicing.
This is one of the great things about coming to these shows, and this is where we met you at last year. Here, right here,
Yes,
right
sir.
here, where
Right
we-
here.
and another one, another update. I have another feature, but no, you can actually talk to the people that build these things, do this stuff, and they will listen. And if you got really great ideas, I mean, CP, I call him all the time and say, hey, you need to change this. I still don't know if he's changed that QR code that I keep complaining about, moving it to the middle of the screen, but I found a fix for it. I just take a picture of it and I put mine big and bold in the middle of the screen. But they listen, and everything we ask for, not everything, but the things that are feasible or reasonable or doable that, can serve the masses, they implement it. So you want to talk to somebody and say, hey man, Pioneer, can you put a fade button here or do this or change it? Can we get 2 microphones with all the things on it on our controller? If you come to these shows, a lot of times the engineers or the people that are making the decisions are right here to talk to. So
You have that option.
yeah,
You have that option. But CP, again, thank you and your team for what you do. You know, I appreciate you for the work that you put in. One cannot say that you don't put the work in because you're out here making things happen. You're making uh, viral commercials. I saw him tossing money up. I said, I know his wife don't know that he may be at a strip club. Don't know. But
This kind of comment is acceptable only in the DJ industry. Other people just bleep it out.
yes, I said, but no. In all seriousness, I really like the work that you put in, and it's honorable.
yeah.
And I would say to others that are looking to get your product out there and be at a show or whatever. If you need an example, you are an example
A
of
shining
putting
star.
in
Yeah.
the work
Yeah.
and fighting through that. So we thank you for that. And I know we was talking about, we talked the other day about you coming on. So we're going to switch gears. Uh, what got you into DJing in the first place? Why did you want to be a DJ?
You're giving me goosebumps when I say this because my I've been privileged. My uncle, my mom's brother,
Uh-huh.
who's no longer here, and
Rest in
he
peace.
passed away very early. I was only 5 years old.
Mm.
He was the most passionate about music and collection. And and back in the day, so back in those days, music. India did not have that much of privilege, but my uncle was so particular about the music collection. Um, in my childhood, I've seen a wall of cassettes,
Mm.
neatly organized, and and when he passed away, he also had a tape recorder, a double-sided one, and I ended up inheriting that because
Mm.
my mom got it, and from my mom, maybe I stole it. But somehow I at that early age I had a two cassette player, and in India when I took that two, it was a Sony two cassette player. Nobody understood why there are two cassette players right there,
Mm.
and I would stop, start. So it's like it's really
That's how you started cassettes.
yeah.
Wow. Me
Yeah.
too, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, but go ahead.
Go ahead.
And somehow like just playing for friends and so forth. That's where I started, and then came to US. Um, so that music was in my genes is what I say, and my uncle gave it to me,
Mhm.
right? And came to, and I used to still in India also. I would do all of these things, playing, making sure bringing the right music and so forth. Somehow came to US and was attending a party, and there was nothing to do, so I stepped up. I said, oh, you have a speaker, let me start to play some music from my YouTube and so forth. And people started to enjoy, and then destiny has its way, right?
Yeah.
It slowly pulls you in and keeps pulling
Yes.
you in.
Yes.
So my upgrade, so uh, funny story. So I had when I started, I had one of those simpler Newmark mixer. It was it was like NS4 or NS3, something like very simple. So used it for like 2 years, and Destiny, right? Destiny has its own way of saying now is the time for you to upgrade. And I'm playing at a party, and somebody comes and spills a whole bottle.
Oh.
I didn't know what to do. I was pretty upset. I didn't know how to react to it. But then I said, huh, time to upgrade. And then got to, my Pioneer DDJ, 800, then DDJ, 1000. Uh, so, life just has its own way of saying upgrade. It looks like it is going to be damaging, but if you look at the other side, that hey, time
It's
to upgrade.
Yeah,
Sometimes it is.
you get forced to do stuff before you want to sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
So
wonderful.
I'm going to
Go
go
ahead.
completely tangent here. Completely, I'm going to go completely tangent here. And I've seen this happen in real life in so many places, right? So again, my childhood in where I live in India, not too far, there's a big city by name of Ahmedabad that had an earthquake, destroyed the whole city. But when it
Oh.
came back up, it became a big business capital. Like life wanted to say that now is the time. you've not improved. I'm going to give you a jolt. You will feel little bad. So, and then, as long as you keep pushing, persevering, and working towards improving, you are going to get better. So that's one of those things that when you're hurt, again, we're going tangent on this topic. Some of our friends, like, sometimes we lose business, we have things happen, and but when you bounce back, so much stronger. So, I would say if people are out there, they're thinking, hey, recession is coming, or this is happening, that is happening. Just, when you bounce back, you're going to bounce back much, much more further. Right? Just keep fighting through.
Yeah. Absolutely love it. Well, we know you're a busy man, and we love you, but we're going to kick you out the chair.
Yeah.
But no problem.
Just mess with
you guys.
We just mess with you.
Thank you.
We
Thank
just
you so
mess
much.
with you, CP.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always.
And we always love to hear from you because there's a new update or a new improvement.
And if you guys
and that's the way real quick, that's the way everybody should be, updating and improving all the time, trying to make your business better for your customers and your clients.
And do this for me. Tell us about where they can find eStart and all of the good stuff. So for those that's looking to build their business and get a greater connection with their guests or their audience, tell them where to find you at, please.
Yeah.
So Estart, ESSTART, Estart.com. There are 2 S's in here. So ESSTART, Estart.com. And our Instagram is EstartHQ. All our social medias are EstartHQ. And then our website is Estart.com. Please look us up. And we invite you for a demo. If you want to really do a deep dive, we are available, and we can help you really evaluate everything that we do. So, book a demo with us.
Yes.
That's the best
All
way
right.
to contact us.
Now get out.
All right. You guys heard it first, and I'm the nice one. Remember that. You have a good one.
So
I'm the nice one.
By the way,
Okay.
the another update. I was just trying to think, where did this come from? This came from the Marquee Show. So
no, we did that here when you did all the updates.
No, he got
no.
an update. No.
The update came at the Marquee Show.
Okay.
Yeah, because I just kind of remember when we met, that is where we had more things to show you and talk to you about.
Oh, yes.
This. So I know you guys are going to be at the Marquee Show, so that's where this came from. So a shout out to Casey.
All right.
Oh, shout out. Now see. Okay.
Another one. All right.
He's gone.
Hey,
guys.
look.
Cool.